That's good. Good. All right. Now I just got to get my playback up. Loading up pretty slow. Okay, there we go. All right. Skip all that. What's up, Wade? How's it going? How you doing? How's everybody doing? Hopefully quite well. Just getting my playback up and everything like that. You know how it is. A little sore you went to the gym? Well, that's always good. It's always good to get a good workout in. Hopefully it was a pretty good lift and, whatever. Pretty, I don't know. It's a pretty boring weekend of football, but I mean, at least there was football this weekend. That's kind of how you can look at it. Um, we got another week of games left this week, and then, nothing next week, and then it's the start of the preseason. Or regular season, rather. Sorry. But yeah, it's getting there. I was planning on doing it 3 days a week. Oh, nice, man. You're planning on doing 3 times? Nice. That's a good amount of days to work out, I would say. Doesn't tire you out. It's not too little. Gives you a couple days to like heal in between and all that. So that's always good. Yeah, there's you know what's been weird about this preseason? And I think this is going to be kind of the norm going forward with things like joint practices and just this kind of almost this stalwart stance by teams that they don't want their best players getting hurt in meaningless games, which is a good probably the best stance to have. But I'm wondering if we'll ever really know if the preseason can tell us anything going forward. Like what? Because like most teams aren't playing anybody. They're kind of just coasting through maybe a drive or two. What's up, Afro? Um, and I'm starting to kind of wonder if that's like a thing we need to pay attention to going forward. Like, yeah, the preseason works for maybe this or that, but it really only shows what kind of depth each team has and potentially what kind of like you know maybe if there's a position battle they got to work through. What's up, Mike? But other than that, I don't know if like the current iteration of the preseason, the way we kind of know it, the way we understand it, the way it's how we've always seen it as well. Game 1 isn't much. Game 2 a little more. Game 3 we see the starters for like a half, and then Game 4 is kind of a blow off game. Um, that's kind of how the preseason's historically always gone, and that's kind of how you've been able to kind of judge based off the preseason. And now it's really hard. There isn't anything really to judge off of. Around an hour. Oh, that's nice. You run for an hour on the treadmill. There you go, man. That's a good way to get in shape. So I'm just kind of just wondering what the future of everything looks like in terms of what the preseason means, how we can evaluate things before the season starts. Do we just kind of gotta wait till like week 1 of the regular season before we can make like good informed decisions on anything? Um, what's up, Daniel? So yeah, those are the things I've been thinking about today. Just like, what did we learn from the preseason? That the Bears have a better second team. You know what I mean? The Pats. What do you mean? They just held the Panthers to under 200 yards of total offense in a game. What's up, Captain? And took the ball away from him 4 times. What's there not to love about that? Or are you just kind of genuinely asking, like, how's the preseason going? It's going all right. We're 1-1 like almost every other team. Some teams 2-0, some teams 0-2. Are you meaning that what like? Oh, okay, you're good. Yeah, it's just I don't know. The offense might sputter a little bit out of the gates for the Patriots. That's my best proclamation. Yeah, there's not much. No, this is trying to figure out the O line. I think that's coming to a close in terms of figuring that out. Hoping the defense is a little faster this year. Hoping it looks a lot faster. Just small things. Yeah, there's the Patriots Panthers game, by the way. I just went over that one. Basically, it was all Patriots the entirety of the game. The Patriots held the Panthers to under 200 yards of total offense and took the ball away from them 4 times. So safe to say the Patriots defense this year might be something tenacious and something to just keep in the back of your minds when your team might have to play the Patriots. You know, it's something to think about. What's up with this Bears and Sea? Yeah, again with the Bears and Seahawks, there's not really much to take away there. These are going to be two of the worst teams in the league, but the Bears might be better than the Seahawks. So that's kind of what you can take away. That the Bears won't be the worst team in the league. That might be Seattle. No offense to any Seahawks fans or anything. Against the Colts defense? Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. Our backups were averaging, just took the ball away from a team 4 times. Our third stringers took the ball away from the from the Panthers backup team twice. It was pretty crazy. So we'll see. Lions had their way with the Colts. I don't know. That was interesting. But again, it's all backups and what kind of depth do you got, and you kind of would hope that the I don't want to say worst teams in the league would have good depth because they should, right? Like they should have a bunch of good young like depth players because of the where they're drafting and where they're sitting in drafts for the last couple of years. They're able to grab like earlier players that make up depth charts, so they're a little bit more talented just in general. And it's one of them things where like, yeah, the bad teams probably should just beat up on good teams. If a bad team looks bad in the preseason, they just got nothing. Like that means their backups are bad, their starters aren't any good, and that's what you're looking at with a team like Seattle. And that's not going to be a fun season to be a Seahawks fan unless they just stun the world, which I mean it is possible. Shit, look at what the Bengals did last year. How many of us had the Bengals even over 500 when the season was going to end? I don't think I did. I'll be honest. I think I had them at like 7, maybe 8 wins if everything went really well. We can be honest. Nobody. I don't remember hearing one person except like Kyle Brandt say like if the Bengals get hot this year, they could be a Super Bowl team, and everybody on whatever football show he's on in the morning went, "Wow, that's a bad take." That is pretty crazy. Colts are a good playoff team. We just got to make it. Yeah, I mean, you guys got to make the playoffs first. So we'll see how these two teams play. That game we did. There's not really. I don't know. The Packers. Jordan Love looks all right. A lot better than he has in the past. Yeah, I'm sure you were the only person on the entire planet that thought the Bengals were going to win it all last year. I'm sure Cheeto, you're the only person on the entirety of this earth, you and Kyle Brandt, that can prove that you thought the Bengals were going to be better than 500. Again, I'll even give kudos if you can prove that you thought the Bengals were a playoff team. I'll give you that. I'll even give you playoff or above 500 if you can prove to me that you thought the Bengals were going to be above 500 last year. I'll be impressed. I'll be like, damn, you know ball. Jesus, what a great call. I knew by week 4 that was a serious football team, by the way, with the Bengals. Week 4, I was like, oh, okay, they're real. That's if you remember, we were beating the drums on this channel from about week 3 onward with the Bengals. We went, oh, that's a good team. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it clicked in for us rather quick for most people, I would say, if you weren't being like ignorant about just hating the Bengals. If you just like don't like make your football picks with memes, then the Bengals actually really quickly became a serious team last year. What MLB? Oh, the Tigers and the Padres. Yeah, it was crazy with the Bengals last year, but I don't even remember what I was thinking. I usually wait till after the preseason to make those kind of predictions. But right now it's looking like I'm gonna stand by my Bills versus Bill. The Bills mean business, by the way. There isn't. Hold on. Let's just get their game out of the way right now because this was stupid. Look at this ridiculous shit. What were they trying to prove this week? Is this a message to the rest of the NFL? Should we all be very, very scared of what Buffalo is going to do to people this season? Guys, that was a fucking kill shot what they did to the Broncos. I'm sorry. I've never seen a team beat another team like this in a preseason game. This is some Madden. We're just going to kill it. I guess we're just going to kill the fucking. I hate the Broncos, so I'm going to score 42 on them in the preseason. What is this? Josh Allen didn't even play but one drive and just dominated. And then the backups came out and shit all over the Broncos. It was great because I hate the Broncos more than I hate the Bills. But yeah, the Bills are probably going to win the AFC this year. I really, this to me is a very big statement. That means our depth is better than most teams' probable starters. Dude, the Bills are trying. No, this is a message to the Broncos and anybody else in pro football. This was a kill shot game. This was Bills going, yeah, we really think we're winning this year. We're going to do this kind of shit. And you can only hope somebody wants to be a hero, like the great Bernard Pollard. If somebody repeats Bernard Pollard's move, I'll remove him from my personal terrorist watch list of people who are bad people. By the way, if you look up Bernard Pollard Patriots injuries, you'll know why I think he's a domestic terrorist. We don't have to go over the specifics, but let's just say he better hope I never get in any kind of political power. I'll go after that man. But should somebody, whatever to Josh Allen, is whatever. No, I'm just kidding. What's your hot take of the NFL season? I love hot takes, by the way. Those are some of my favorite things to talk about. I have a hot take. I don't think the Chargers are going to be very good this year, but I mean we'll get to that if we want to. We spent an hour talking about that one day, and let me tell you, Avenue, when I say it was like 10 versus 1, everybody disagreed with me. I was like, oh, this is a scorching hot take too. And I'm very confident to say 3 injuries to the Chargers, and they're a garbage motherfucking team again this year. Cardinals? That's actually not the worst take. But in the NFC, it's very, very weak, and I'm wondering if the Cardinals can't just spin their way in. Yeah, they're badly coached, and they're very thin. Like, they have... Okay, so go look at the way the Chargers have lost back-to-back games now by almost the exact same score, and I'm wondering if that's an indication of how bad their depth is, right? I was looking at the Chargers game, and they lost 32-18 to the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys also scored 2 touchdowns on special teams. I think this was the game where the Cowboys literally ran 2 kickoffs in for touchdowns. So again, that's bad. That's a reference to the badly coached. The 2 special team touchdowns, that's terrible. And again, 3 injuries on their defense. They have nothing to replace those guys with. Very good roster for starters, but outside of that, Chargers very, very thin roster. Bad coached. Bad historical luck. I don't really know what to think with the Chargers. Hard division and no D-Hop for half the season, and Kyler Murray is questionable. Yeah, I agree. The Cardinals are one of them teams that start off really, really good every year, and then they just kind of fall apart. A lot of it's because they keep like an older roster. For years, everybody's kind of joked and referred to them as sort of like a NFL retirement home team. Like, that's where all the old guys go to retire, is Arizona. And really, I think if you go look at the roster, it's not like even a joke. It's like, wow, there is a lot of old guys on this team. And it's like, oh, no wonder they start out almost unbeatable for about 6-7 games every year. And then by about week 11, they can't go anymore. Browns. I want to talk about the Browns in a second. Possible potential trade that's going up. You think Damien Harris will have a bad season? Why is that? Just bad offensive line, or too many other running backs will just take the shine off of him? There's always that. Opinions on Titans? Really good, very unlucky, and I don't know why. And I have to question one thing about them, that Fergie doesn't know ball. Anyway, why Ryan Tannehill is my only question. What's up, Jacob? What's up, Daniel? How you guys doing? The bad O-line thing is a really weird take, considering we haven't once ran our actual offensive line this whole fall. Is Trent Brown a bad offensive lineman? I don't think so. Isaiah Wynn? Not exactly. He's a top 30 lineman in the NFL. He's a starter. Onwenu? Very good guard. Even better tackle if we get rid of Isaiah Wynn. David Andrews, one of the better centers in the league. So we got one bad offensive lineman. That's not exactly a bad offensive line. I'm sure there are a lot of teams that would kill to have the Patriots' offensive line. The Browns? That's not a hot take. The Browns are. They're a very good team. They just, the quarterback situation was bad last year. You're excited for next week? I think everybody is. Watt in Arizona. Yeah, Watt's a great example. They've also brought in Terrell Suggs, and it's just a long list of guys who are old that they bring in. I don't really buy the bad O-line thing with the Patriots. How many teams actually have better offensive linemen than the Patriots? Well, they're just not going to be able to block? I guess in your opinion. I'm wondering, though, if Damien Harris wasn't on a part of a running back carousel of like 4 other running backs and didn't split his carries in half, if he wouldn't have gotten something crazy well over at the... Like, okay, so I have a huge question, right? I don't think any of those teams actually have a better offensive line than us, except maybe the Browns. Stay safe. Have a good one, Afro. Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate you. Have a good night, my friend. But so Damien Harris, again, split all his carries with 3 or 4 other running backs and still put up 900 yards and 15 touchdowns. Are you sure he's that much worse? Are you sure he's not as good as those guys? Like, I just don't get it. It's just like, so if he had what, the same amount of carries as Chubb, how many more yards? I mean, let's go look at something. Yards per carry is a big one on this. Actually, Damien Harris is probably low. He scores a lot of touchdowns. We'll see about his ball protection, right? Yeah, usually. I think those 2 fumbles were the only 3. I think he's got 4 career fumbles. All right, 4.6 yards per attempt on rushes. That's pretty solid. 202 rushes, 929 yards, and 15 touchdowns. That's really good numbers for a running back. That's pretty solid for a guy who only got 202 carries. All right, let's look up Nick Chubb stats. All right, I'm sure they're a little better. They are. But again, 228, 1259, 8 touchdowns, 5.5. So yeah, he's slightly better by about a yard. Nice. All right. Yeah, Derrick Henry is going to be stupid, though, so I don't even want to look this up. 9 yards a carry, some stupid-ass shit like that. No, actually, that was last year, though, so it's kind of... I'd have to look at his career to get a better idea. 4.9. Again, still all way more carries than Damien with way less touchdowns by both of them. Harris is just better at scoring touchdowns, I guess. I don't really know. They're not that much better, man. I don't know what to tell you. You're acting like there's like some massive dip scale between the two of them. I don't really see it. He got a lot more yards, sure, but again, Damien Harris isn't our yards back. He's our power score back. Our guy who moves the ball down the field is James White. No, I'm saying he's in conversation. You're the one that's acting like there's some kind of insurmountable gap between the three of those guys. Like it goes those two, and then way down the list is Damien Harris. And it's like, nah, not really. Not that big a one. Their numbers aren't that far off. Well, like 300 more yards for Chubb and 7 less touchdowns. 26 carries, that might make up 100 yards. So say maybe 200 yards if you put it up to even, roughly. No, you're not. You're just saying things. You're not even acknowledging anything I'm saying. Again, literally, I just said if you tied their things up, they're like 100 yards apart rushing wise, and then still 7 touchdowns off. Your guy isn't that much better, dude. I mean, the numbers just kind of speak for themselves. All right, like we can actually like, oh shit, sorry about that. I kind of bumped into some. Like we can actually just kind of like do the math, right? Like 228 times 4 or 4.5. So about 200 yards difference if they had the same amount of carries. I'll take 700. I'll take 200 yards less for 7 more touchdowns. Would you? Serious question. Again, so you give him the same amount of carries. Damien's only 200 yards behind that guy and 7 touchdowns less. Titans don't have a quarterback. Browns don't really have a good head coach. Then the Browns got a way better O-line. That's about it. They're about the same. I don't know. I'd say the Browns are a little better just because their roster is a little better, but not by much. But the Titans are a way better coach, so that kind of throws it a little bit. And the Browns had a quarterback last year. How good could they have been? You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. Those are two teams in 2 different stages of development. Like the Titans should be competing for Super Bowls right now, and they're just not. It's just like, well, their window's open, and they missed it because they went with Ryan motherfucking Tannehill for some reason. I don't know. Titans had a better quarterback. They might have won a Super Bowl. Like I don't really know how to think about that. But the same with the Browns. It's like, how do you have a roster that talented from top to bottom and not win? Like not do better than they did last year? Bad quarterback play. I don't know. So I think they're kind of even teams. It's like, yeah, they're both pretty good rosters. A little bit better coaching for the Titans. A little bit better roster by the Browns. So I think they're even. Need 1 year, and they think that, yeah. If the Browns had done what the Bengals did, I could see where the Browns fans think everyone. Oh, yeah, I think so. I think next season they'll be very dangerous with fully ready to go Deshaun. Unless Deshaun just like quits playing football after all this. He's like, yeah, I just don't want to play anymore. It's fucking not fun. That'd be pretty funny. But still, nothing funnier than this game here. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the Bills versus the Bucs in the Super Bowl. And isn't it funny that Tom Brady just dipped out for like 2 straight weeks? As all Patriots have said, that the Bill Belichick held back something from the league that nobody was prepared for, and that's what Patriots have been saying it to about everybody. It's like, we've known about Tom Brady's this side of Brady that no one else knew about. This fucking crazy guy underneath the all shucks G Willikers guy. And it's like, nah, that's a facade. That weird dude who throws shit around and screams on the sideline and can win games 28-3. No, that's just Psycho Tom. Every bit of this is just Psycho Tom Brady, just doing whatever he wants to, because you guys don't have a real coach to keep him in line, and you just don't have a real, Belichick kept that fucking psycho in line. I'm telling you guys don't know what you're. People are like, no, we love, this is Psycho Tom. It's like, yeah, you don't want to deal with Psycho Tom all the time. That guy is not a fun dude to deal with. You know how stressful it is to have that guy as your quarterback? It's like, oh boy, it's nice when he decides to do the thing, but that psycho shit can go in a weird direction really quickly. Yeah. I mean, this dream is going slow right now. Yeah, that's exactly the issue. No, I don't know about a few more years, man. I think this actually might be it. I'm stunned this dude. I'm pretty sure he only came back because Schefter spoiled his retirement. Like, there's like a big part of me that's like, I'm 90% sure he only came back because Schefter ruined it. If that idiot Schefter would have just kept his mouth shut, Brady would be retired right now. I'm like 80% sure of this. This dude does shit to spurn the media and people who talk about him when he doesn't want to be talked about. You know what I mean? Can you point to me when Tom Brady seeking vengeance hasn't worked? Oh well. For the most part, I think I'm going to go strip a bunch of mods off people again and see how long it takes for them to come back and say something. Let's see, people I just don't see anymore. I haven't, that have long-term ref here. All these people are pretty cool. You're watching the Yankees and Mets game on TV. Well, that's cool. Oh, in Tampa? Yeah, that's a nightmare. That's a pretty big nightmare brewing in Tampa. They're going to have to make a move at something. You know what I mean? It's like, well, Tampa, you're going to have to call somebody. Maybe try and go get Isaiah Wynn. Any other big games to talk about from this last weekend? Let's see. Not really. It was kind of a boring weekend of games. The Ravens kept their win streak alive. I don't know. Does anybody think there was something significant? Yeah, this could be one of the worst lines Tom Brady's ever had to play in front of coming up. Oh yeah, Tampa. You guys want to see something hilarious? Yeah, it's very hard to take serious. While you know how people have been touting Tua Tagovailoa as this like future GOAT of the league. He's like Bills fans or Dolphins fans are like, dude, he's taken He's going to take Josh Allen year 3 steps, dude. Like, they're very sure of this, by the way. If you go ask any Dolphins fan, they're like, dude, he's taking a Josh Allen year 3 step, and you guys aren't even ready. You think Jacoby is going to be good? He'll do well, but I think Gardner Minshew or somebody like that will wind up being their quarterback, especially since Kareem Hunt wants a trade. I do believe it is in the Browns' best interest to trade Kareem Hunt for a quarterback. That's way better than Jacoby Brissett for 11 games, like Gardner Minshew. That's my thoughts. Anyway, let's take a peek at this. All right, so we see the Dolphins versus the Raiders here. We see Tua at quarterback because he's left-handed. Now, the play says hike, Tua drops back. Look at this protection. Ain't nobody getting Tua. All day to throw this, all day to make this read, right? Look at this. If you can't really see, like, you can see right, let me see how close this is. Okay. So, as you can see, Tua, all day to throw. Nobody is going to get him. They even got this guy as an emergency blocker right here. Now, look at this number, I think that's 14. How fucking open is this guy, right? Look at that. Boom, wide open. If he throws it right here, that's probably a touchdown because if he catches it like about the 15, he's going to run right into that corner for a touchdown. Because this guy is focusing on this route right here. Because this guy is also wide the fuck. This is an offensive player right here. If Tua wants to, just throw the ball to the 15 going toward the sideline. 2 very wide open plays that put you deep into the red zone and in goal situations probably, correct? You would think, wow, ain't no way Tua fucked this play up and missed 2 wide open wide receivers, right? Where do you think this ball wound up? He didn't turn it over. Where do you think this ball went to? No, the guy streaking down the middle here that's gonna pretty much got a walk-in touchdown, or he's gonna hit the sideline for a big like a big 20, 30 yard gain almost. Hell, that guy's probably even inside the 10. I mean, that guy going up the sideline there if you throw it good enough. Nope. Guess what Tua did on this play? This guy right here is part of a breakoff, so he's blocked. This guy's going to go out here this way, and Tua throws it to him about here, right about the 40 or the 36. If you don't believe me, go look up Dan Orlovsky, break down this play, and say it's one of the greatest examples of how Tua's a changed quarterback. It's like, how in the fuck is it good? Why is he pointing this play out other than how the hell did Tua miss 2 wide open guys deep down the field, and why is he being praised for a check down throw when he missed 2 wide open wide receivers on this? I'm talking, you whip that ball to that guy right here, and there's no way any of these dudes get him. He's wide open. This guy wide open. Yeah, if Tua wasn't who he was last year and was like a step forward quarterback, this dude catches the ball right here. I even pointed to where that ball should have been caught because this guy is going this fucking way. Boom. I mean, this is a touchdown. This should have been a touchdown. But instead, Tua waits, and then throws it to his backup right about here. And I'm supposed to believe that Tua is the next Josh Allen. Isn't that crazy? That people actually believe this? If you think I'm joking that people believe this, then you just don't live on the internet. You've never... Oh, I've seen the live clip. I know exactly what happens. I watched the whole thing. The guy's wide open the entire play. It gets worse when you watch the play because the way I describe how the defenders react is exactly what happens. That one defender leaves that guy just like the guy's hand is up like this. He's like pointing for the. He's like, I thought he was gonna hyperextend his arm because he like was going like this with it, like really hard, like throw me the ball. You don't let a guy get that wide open in the NFL. If you want to, what's the situation? Oh, he clearly wasn't reading that because if he would have read that, he would have realized he had 2 deep options. Instead, he just took the check down. Again, I have no problem with quarterbacks taking a check down because, again, sometimes you got to take the check down. Sometimes that's a smarter play. Not when you have a guy wide open across the middle of the field with his arm up going, throw me the ball. That would have been a touchdown. You can't miss that in the regular season. I hope it's a preseason timing thing, like that was designed to go that way in the play, and that guy just happened to get wide the fuck. Maybe that's a play, and I'm speaking way out of turn, and maybe that's why Orlovsky's like, this is a brilliant play. Hey, maybe that's on me, and Tua's supposed to ignore the 2 wide open touchdowns. I don't know. Maybe that's McDaniel's offense. They don't like touchdowns. Hey. I mean, more power to him. He's supposed to be a genius. Maybe all that fucking weed he smokes messed his brain up, maybe. I don't know. Paquette is stepping all over Mitch Trubisky. Feed, I think Kenny has a great shot at winning. You know, Nathan, the only thing that messes that up is the fact that Mitch Trubisky is playing a team called the Detroit Lions this weekend. Oh, he even I seen that. Yeah, he looks like he looked at it and then just didn't throw it to him. It's like, dude, I shouldn't be able to read that safety is going to the fucking sideline and I have the middle of the field. Yeah, Trubisky's going to win that job off the Lions. He's going to fucking just mow down the Detroit Lions like he always does and just steal the job from Kenny Pickett for a few weeks. And I feel bad for Pickett, supporters and everything. It's like, you guys got fucked. Why? Mitch just doesn't lose to the Lions. All of his good games in his entire career come against the Lions. That man is in the NFL thanks to the Detroit Lions at this point. What's up, Shlomo? That bum would have 2 goddamn bad games in his. He'd have 2 good games all season. It'd be just dominating games versus the Lions. They'd be so good. It would go to the point where it's like, man, maybe Mitch is a good quarterback. It's like, guys, he has 14 bad games a year and then 2 really good ones versus the Lions. I don't think he's a good quarterback. But I'm talking it's like, whoa, this guy could be something if he could play like this against everybody. Hilarious, though. One of my favorite things about Mitch is he just beats up on one team. Going good, though. Shlomo, how's it going for you? Perfect bridge QB? Yeah, that's about right. That's why I think the Browns should go pick up Gardner Minshew. They aren't? What's your favorite team? No, they're in their window right now. They actually have about a 3-year window, and it's open right now. They have a lot of very, very, very expensive mouths to feed in about a year or 2. And something tells me they're not going to handle it very well. You know how much money Josh Allen is going to cost that team? What's his contract? Did he sign a new one yet? I literally just for some reason can't remember. He might have. If he hasn't, well, have God mercy on the Bills' salary cap. Oh, they're going the Chiefs route. Okay. You guys just re-signed him? What was the deal? Was it $190 million? No, you do realize when you paid Vaughn that 6-year contract, you gave yourself a 3-year window, correct? Your team put the 3-year window on itself by the signings it made. You're going to be in what we call cap hell in 4 years. You backloaded the shit out of that Von Miller contract, and you're never going to get out of it. No one will trade for a 40-year-old Von Miller from you. If you cut him, you're out a lot of money for a season or 2. Yeah, you guys, you have a 3-year, 4-year gap, and then that's closed. Because then you got to pay a lot of people or they're just going to leave. And then you run into the problem that the Chiefs ran into. What's the offensive line looking like? I didn't see you guys do much to fix that up. I'm just saying, it's a decent line. But is it a good line because Josh can run around? Your run game is complete asshole. And I wonder if that's a product of a bad offensive line. And again, you did nothing to fix it. And let me tell you something. I know what happens to a team with a bad offensive line. Yeah, it sounds like Mike, where have we heard this? As long as we got Patrick Mahomes, we don't need an offensive line. Okay. You're the one who was worrying about my team first. In fact, that's all Bills fans do is worry about Mac Jones and the Patriots. Do you know what's funny about Bills fans? They made Mac Jones trend every single day on social media in the offseason. Josh Allen never once trended because of Bills fans. You know that? Every single day there'd be Mac Jones, 10,000 tweets from Bills fans. It's like, man, they're fucking obsessed with Mac Jones. I've never seen anything quite like it. But, again, I heard this before from Chiefs fans who didn't understand what the fuck their team was doing. You know why the Chiefs went out and gave the house a bunch, like literally gave everything to Joe Thuney that they had for an offseason spending ability? Because they went, oh my God, we fucked up on building this team. We put together all the skill pieces and forgot to build an offensive and defensive line, really. Oops. And I called that out the offseason it happened. And you know what every Chiefs fan told me? I'm fucking stupid and I'm a dumb hater. I don't understand football. You don't need an offensive line when you got a quarterback like Mahomes. What happened in that in that Super Bowl? What happened? Why'd the Chiefs lose that Super Bowl to the Bucs? Because Mahomes ran for like 400 yards negative running around in the backfield that game? Oh, the offensive line issues came up because one guy got hurt and they had no depth to replace him. Again, if you guys don't win the Super Bowl this year or make it to it, you guys are a laughingstock to most of the league. You guys are a super team now. You know that, right? You have a whole bunch of super talented players. But guess what? Mr. Super Team, guess what happens if you don't win a Super Bowl? The second you idiots lose in the playoffs like you usually do. Like, we don't, like, to be a Patriots fan's awesome right now. Yeah, I think the Patriots will have a way better record. Patriots can win 10, 11 games just like last year. Again, the Patriots might not even make the playoffs this year, and as a Patriots fan, I don't really give a shit. AFC's in a good spot. There are, 13 teams that could make the playoffs in the AFC? Oh, well. If you guys don't win the Super Bowl, you guys are a laughingstock. Do you see the difference in scale and expectations? My team's barely expected to even be a playoff team if we are one. You guys are a Super Bowl contender. Anything short of being in the Super Bowl at the very least is a failure of a season. If Josh Allen isn't the MVP and the Bills don't win the Super Bowl, you guys can kind of count this as a season fail. Like, it's a complete failure of a season. Congratulations. I'd be like, congrats, you lost. You didn't do good this year. Even if you win even if you go fucking 17-0 in the regular season, then lose your first playoff game, I'd be like, wow, you guys fucking failed. Great loser season. Typical Buffalo Bills. Can't get it done in the playoffs. Talk about a sad history in a franchise. Do you guys hate the Patriots more because we did what you guys couldn't do? Win a whole bunch of Super Bowls in a row? You guys just got this insane jealousy because you guys... Yeah, no, I don't think the Bills are going 17-0, but in my perfect world, the Bills win every single game, then lose the second game of their first playoff game. No, you don't actually have anything on us. You guys have a history of being choke artists. That's what you guys are. I don't think you want to go over playoff records. I really don't think you want to do playoff records, man. It took them 21 years there, Steelers Nation. So, Fergie, what happened between the year 2000 and 2021? Hey, Buffalo fans, how's it feel to be the only team in the AFC East without a fucking Super Bowl? Bunch of fucking losers. You know the Jets got more Super Bowls than you guys? I think the game will be very close, Mr. Christ. But I think the Eagles probably take that game just barely. I don't think the Lions get spanked this time. Well, Karam, you guys have 5 Super Bowls you could fall back on. You guys are fine. What happened? Why did he stop talking when I asked him about why doesn't he have as many Super Bowls? I mean, imagine being like the biggest loser in the division. You have no Super Bowls. The motherfucking Jets got a Super Bowl. What'd you guys do for 20 years while we were running the division? You know, in the last 4 years, why didn't you bring up the last 4 years? That's weird. Oh, because in the last 4, because if you would have included the last 4 years, you know who won a Super Bowl that long ago. See, that's interesting. You only did 3 years because if you had to include that 4th year, why didn't you do 5 years? Is it because we were 1-1 in the Super Bowl those years? Why did you only do 3? That's a weird number. Why just 3? Why not 4? Because if you did 4, we won the Super Bowl that year. Why just 3? Just arbitrary 3? You just went, I only do 3. Yeah, only 3. Well, you got more years than the wins in the last 3. In the AFC East, or do you think the Jets? No, it's Jets, Jaguars, and the Texans are the only 3 teams in the AFC that are not playoff teams. If the Dolphins are confusing because I just don't know what Tua's gonna do. If Tua's arms actually improve this year, and there is evidence of that, then the Dolphins should be a pretty good team. Really, the only question with the Dolphins is what Tua's arm strength looks like. If it's what it was last year, the Dolphins aren't gonna do shit. They need to get rid of him. And it's no disrespect to Tua, but it's like that weak arm's not gonna last more than 3-4 years in the NFL. People will just learn how to jump it and pick him. Yeah, 3 years. I know he brings up like Mac wasn't in this conversation. It's really weird you bring up Mac Jones. See, Bills fans can't help themselves. Something about Mac Jones really bothers him. What about Mac bothers you, Fergie? What is it? What about Mac bugs you? Does he remind you of somebody? Because it's all Bills fans, by the way. Every single Bills fan acts this way with young McCorkle. Serious question. Why are you so concerned about Mac? We weren't even talking about Mr. McCorkle Jones, buddy. I think most NFL players probably at some point took steroids. But I also don't care about steroids in sports. I'm a very honest person about that. Do I think it's more cheating in the NFL than baseball? Yeah, probably because of what the effect the steroid could have. But I also just don't care. You mean the rookie had a bad playoff game? Wow. You know, the last rookie quarterback to win a Super Bowl was Russell Wilson, and I think he might have been in his 2nd year. So, again, why are you so concerned about Mac Jones? Mac Jones is a terrific system with the coach that arguably had the best QB. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that, like, I just don't understand, Nathan, why Bills fans hate Mac Jones so much. If it was any other team that he was on and he played that well, I feel like Bills fans wouldn't be so angry about Mac Jones. They'd be like, oh, he's a good young quarterback. But they act like that's it. That's the best you're ever going to get out of Mac his last season. What kind of hilarious coping is that? Like, what? Can you just say what you're actually afraid of? You know what every Patriots fan I know said about Josh Allen? Man, if he can get his accuracy under control, he's going to be he's going to be a problem. And it's very weird to see Bills fans have the complete opposite reaction to a good young quarterback popping up in the division. I thought you want competition, right? What, are you afraid that Mac's going to be a good quarterback and going to challenge your authority to run the division every single year like we did last year? You know we only lost. How many games do you think we lost the division by? 1? What was your guys' record last season? 11 wins? 12 wins? We won 10. We were right behind you guys. Hi. What happened? We all had cupcake schedules, and you motherfuckers barely won the division last year. What was your record last year? We could just look it up. I don't need to be lied to by Bills fans. Uh-oh. Boy, I'd be nervous about Mac Jones, too. Look at this. What is this? For having such a better quarterback, you only won the division by a game with our schedules last year? Ugh. What happened? No, the Bills haven't yet been a number 1 seed. For a team to have all this hype and only to have won only 11 games last year, despite our schedules all being horseshit in the AFC East, that's kind of sad by you guys, isn't it? You would think the Bills ran away with the division last year, right? You would think the Bills won like 13 games. The Patriots barely did it. We almost won the fucking division. By the way, if we would have beat the Bills in that second game, if wishes were fishes, but just here's like a fun little hypothetical. Do you know if we would have beat the Bills or the Colts in one of those games, just any one of those games, with those 2 games, we would have won the division due to common games against the Jaguars? If we would have beat Tampa, we win the division, by the way. Oh, I'll be right back. I have to blow my nose. It's bothering the shit out of me. But I'm gonna be really honest. If my team had like what is supposed to be like the best, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and we only won the division by 1 game over a rookie quarterback, I would also be very, very nervous. I would be very nervous about the rookie quarterback who made us in a year we should have won the division by 5-6 games, right? We should have walked away with this to only win by 1. With their number 1 defense, by the way. The Bills' number 1 defense. What happened? Like, what is this? Bills fans, how'd you only win 11 games last year with the number 1 defense in Josh Allen? What happened? Did your balls fall off? We won 10 games with a rookie. I mean... He left. He's done talking, by the way. The Bills fan has decided not to say anything. What happened? Why did you guys not win the division by 12 games? Oh yeah, Christ, that was my favorite loss. It's one of my favorite ones. Yeah, I just like to point things out like that and go, well, what if you guys were that much better than us? It doesn't really look like it. uh You know what's even funnier? The Bills have this great offense, right? And Mac is way worse. The Bills scored 483 points last year. The Patriots only scored 21 less, so 3 less touchdowns than the Bills. Like, really, these numbers don't really indicate that your team is much better than my team. Just barely by a little bit, and that's kind of sad considering where you guys are at in terms of development versus where we're at. It's tough to come at me, Fergie, because I mean I can look at these numbers here, and you guys only scored 3 more touchdowns than us all last year. Wow, you guys are way better, huh? That's crazy. Come on now. Do you really think there's that big of a gap between our teams? Yeah, I mean they're clearly one of the premier franchises of the NFL. They're the best worst team in the league. Well, that small gap was why the Bills paid $200 million to a 95-year-old defensive end. Yeah, yeah, you know that's true, right? The Bills' desperate moves this offseason, to me, indicate a team that's very nervous about the Patriots and the Dolphins coming up very quickly on them. The AFC East is now competitive. It's no longer ran for some reason. Brady just. And guess what? If Miami has a quarterback, no, they don't. Miami might have one of the scariest offenses in the NFL if they actually have a quarterback situation. I'm sorry, but like the pieces that team has on offense, that's actually a scary offense. Like it's fun to shit on the Dolphins because of Tua, but if he's good, we're all fucked. They'll probably win the division. I'm not even trying to just be silly, but like I really don't know who's stopping them. Waddle and fucking Hill are a really good tandem of receivers. As I mean, same with Gasecki being out there. You lost to the Chiefs in 13 seconds in overtime. Hey, by the way, do you think? So I have a serious question for you, Fergie. If you could redo that game, Fergie, would you rather the Bills win that game 17-10, or would you rather do it all over again and just hopefully you win the coin toss this time? Like a genuine question about your playoff loss. If you could redo it, would you rather take a lower scoring game, but you guys win 17-10? Now that's a very serious question, by the way. If you don't answer this, then I don't really know how to communicate with you because I'm going to tell you why I think you guys lost that game the way you did and what you guys did to cause your own loss. And it had nothing to do with the overtime situation. I seen the Chiefs do this to themselves for about 2 straight years. Yeah, okay, then you're smart. You're actually football. You have decent football understanding. Because that 17-10 game could come with like 48 minutes of possession time. And you win the game just off that. That is the smarter way to win a playoff game than whatever the fuck you guys were doing last year. We'll just outscore everybody. And then you ran into a team you literally can't play that game with. Because the Chiefs were like, we can just keep pace and we'll just hold the ball a little bit longer than them. And that was a really good, that's the main problem you guys had last year was that 4 minutes of possession time a drive was just not going to do it. You gotta just hold the ball for 8 minutes of drive. And the thing with the Bills is they're talented enough to where they should actually be running that kind of offense. You've seen the Chiefs do it last year, and last year was the first year where I went, oh fuck, Mahomes actually took a huge step forward this year. Because he wasn't just bombing the ball 50 yards downfield. He was reading the defense and going, shit, that's not a good throw. I'll take the check. And they were getting 9 minutes of possession time on some drives, and that's really good. And it was allowing their defense to go absolutely ballistic whenever they took the field because they had a high amount of just saved up energy and they were on the field a lot less than they needed to be. So I think the Bills kind of brought that loss on themselves by kind of gassing themselves out and not really. They played right into a trap that KC wanted them to play into. All right, let's get into a foot race. And then you guys were running at the Chiefs' pace the entire game. Chiefs had you guys play short, and then they took the ball and held it as long as they could. Then It was a great game. It was a really fun game to watch. But Sean McDermott got the shit coached out of him. That was for a coach who just never has understood clock management like Andy Reid. That's kind of embarrassing to get dog walked on by Andy Reid in clock management. Yeah, I would like to see the Chiefs lose in the Super Bowl. No. See, Christ, do you know what would be even better? If you don't like the Bills, there is only one team that can beat them in the playoffs that would literally crush them. And that's the Bucs. They'd have to lose the Super Bowl to Tom Brady. Now you think about this. There is no more hated individual in all of Buffalo, in all the city or the state of New York than Tom Brady. Now, I couldn't even think of a greater, more hilarious way for next season to end than the goddamn Buccaneers beating the Bills to win a Super Bowl. And Brady wins his 8th and then retires on Buffalo's ass. I'd be like, oh, that's so awesome. You have to really think about how... Dude, that man is like 34-5 against that team. I really don't think that there would be any funnier way for a season to end. That would prove it to me that football was made for me. I'd be like, oh, what a beautiful ending to that fucking Buffalo team this season. Again, I almost want them to win every game. 18, 19-0 coming into the Super Bowl. And then they lose. I'd be like, oh, yeah. Chiefs ain't winning that. Sorry, that's just my own little fantasy for this upcoming season. You know, everyone's got fantasies coming up, right? Mine don't even involve the Patriots because this season might not be the best, but I'm kind of looking forward to next season. When we have actual cash to spend. We're finally done and out of those stupid big-ass contracts we gave. There is a lot of people think like, oh, the only year the Patriots ever paid out was fucking 2020. No, we actually paid a shitload of money out during our second dynasty run. Like, people just don't know about it. We did it very quietly, but guys like Hightower had huge contracts. There was just, we had, gigantic, stupid, backloaded contracts for a bunch of really old players, and they're all expired after this year. So we're good. We gained, anywhere from $70 to $80 million this offseason, the Patriots do. And then the following offseason, another bunch of bad contracts come off the books, and we gain, in the next 2 seasons, we stand to gain about $170 million in cap space. We also front-loaded all those contracts we signed with, Henry and all those guys. Those are all front-loaded contracts. Yeah, we're also out. We don't have any real liability on those contracts next season. Hunter Henry was one of the best tight ends in the NFL last year. Matthew Judon was one of the best defensive ends. What? How could you say Hunter Henry and Matthew Judon were bad signings? Overpaid? Dude, neither of them are making 15. I think Judon's making less than the average defensive end makes. And I think Hunter Henry's making under what the top tight ends make. You guys gave Von Miller over $100 million. You paid Von, what was it, $192 million over 6 years? We didn't even cut. Judon's fucking 10 years younger than him, right? Yeah, so is Matthew Judon. What are you talking about? So is Hunter Henry. The only problem with Hunter Henry on the Chargers was he couldn't stay healthy. And that's because the Chargers, no offense to the Chargers, I like them I don't hate them, but they don't understand anything and they're just kind of a shit-tier organization. Everybody's always hurt on their team. But on the Patriots, nobody actually ever really gets hurt that bad. Unless it's an actual bad injury. Patriots players don't get hurt and then they're gone for 3 weeks. It's they get hurt and they're out for 2 years. There's no such thing because the Patriots understand these. There's a bunch of hydration shits and a bunch of tests you have to go through in the morning. They're very, very anal retentive about how your body is. You guys guaranteed $78 million of that and backloaded the shit out of the rest of it. If Von's on the roster and dude, you guys, all right, let's go look at Von's contract, dude. We can just look this up. Got 120. Just about what we were saying. That was a little off. So let's see. Again, you backloaded the shit out of this contract. And this is your out after here. This is why it's a 3-year window. If you keep him, you are fucking yourself very, very hard. But it goes from $5 million to 18 to 21. You're paying a 34-year-old $18.7 million next season. And if you cut him, you owe him $40 million. Again, the following season, you have no choice but to keep him because nobody's going to take a 35-year-old worth $21.2 million. If you cut him, you owe him the dead cap is $21 million. You're not going to do that. Your first year you can cut him is in 2025, where you'll still lose $7 million if you cut him. No one's going to trade for him. You see how kind of you guys gave out a bad contract. I'm sorry. This is a win right now contract team. Do you see why I'm telling you that? This contract says, yeah, I think we can win in the next 3 seasons. Do you see why I said you guys have about a 3-year window gap? Even your team believes you have a 3-year window to win a Super Bowl right now. It's just a 3-year gap. It's open. The window's open. You guys got 3 seasons. If you don't win one, you're probably not going to win one with Josh at quarterback. Unless he just steals one late in his career. Because the most likely time a quarterback wins a Super Bowl, I think it's the first 6 or 7 years in the NFL. After that, it becomes... the numbers fall off really hard. By the way, Brady is an anomaly, and so is Peyton Manning. Everybody else is 7 years in, and they win a Super Bowl, and they never win another one. It has mostly to do with that first contract for quarterbacks. And then that first couple years after that first big contract is signed, you got this weird couple years. But really, I mean, how often do you see a guy outside of that window of the first 7, maybe 8 years win anything? They just don't. Again, you got a few exceptions to the rules. But those are all Hall of Fame quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Every exception that you can come up with is well, that guy's probably a Hall of Famer, dude. I don't know what to tell you. And again, I'm not trying to take any shots at the Bills. But I mean, you guys are in a window. You can't really deny that. This is your shot. This year is probably your best year to win it, in all honesty. I don't know why you haven't signed Odell yet. Just fucking sign the guy and go win a Super Bowl. I don't get it. He clearly could be signed as a mercenary player and just bring him back halfway through the season. You guys don't even need him. Just have him. Be well, come week 10, we're unbeatable. Yeah, just do that. Just win every game from that point out. Win the Super Bowl. Basically what the Rams did. They plugged in Odell and just basically never lost again. It was that simple for them. It was just put this guy in. He scares everybody. Cooper Kupp won Offensive Player of the Year, and yeah, Dolphins and Bills. Dolphins too, but the quarterback situation. Patriots they're not even done rebuilding yet. Made the playoffs. Do you guys want to look at the top 50 players that have been revealed? Do you guys even care about that? Ooh, that's not good. I don't want to look at news. Where's the top 100? That's annoying. There we go. Oh, where did we leave off? Oh, we already did that one. We're at 50 through I think 21 is revealed. Yeah. Of course, Micah Hyde was number 50. That's not really a surprise. He belongs. He had that sweet interception off Mac Jones. That was pretty cool. Yeah, well earned. Then you got Devandre Campbell. I'm pretty sure Kenny's happy about seeing a Packer on the list. His first time being ranked, I believe, right? Yeah, it doesn't have his last year ranking. Robert Quinn went from unranked last season all the way up to number 48, having a great season last year, kind of popping back into relevancy. Fred Warner down. Ooh, wow. He dropped 26 spots all the way down to 47, did Fred Warner. Yeah, I know, Mike. I seen that. I'm kind of fucking bummed out Perkins got put on the IR. That's probably it for him in New England, unfortunately. But, I mean, to be fair, it looked like Uche Wilson, and maybe McGrone are our future linebackers, so we'll see. And maybe, guys had a great preseason as well. Anyway, so that's quite a drop for him. Who's this? Austin Eckler went 46 this year. He's ranked 46, so congrats to Mr. Austin Eckler. There's Jordan Poyer, unranked last season, and he comes in at 45 this year, one of the dynamic duos in Baltimore's secondary. Dak Prescott comes chiming in at 44. Not a lot of people were happy about this one. This one kind of pissed a lot of people off, but hey, he was not ranked last year. Now he's 44 this year. And that's big Derwin James coming in at 43 despite never being healthy. He's, Yeah, he's been pretty healthy. So nice to see him make this spot on the list. You think Garrett's going to be 7? Yeah, probably. Cameron Hayward comes in at 42. He went up 15 spots from 57 last year all the way down to 42 this year. Good job by him. Tristan Wirfs. Holy shit, what a jump. You think Cooper Kupp's going to be 1? They're probably going to make Aaron Rodgers number 1. By the way, these are voted on by the players and coaches. So this is one of the lists I take most seriously because as a person, I don't really give a shit what media thinks. I don't really give a shit what pundits like me think. Our opinions on the game are our opinions and they're valid in what they are. Except if you work for ESPN, your opinion's completely invalid. You probably don't even really know the game very well. The intern who writes for you might know the game well, but you don't. The talking heads don't. Except maybe Stephen A. Smith. He probably knows ball. Everybody else, complete shit show. I mean, honestly, you guys are better than everyone at ESPN. Everyone here is just far better than whatever the fuck they got at that network. Ugh. I forgot what point I was trying to make. Oh, yeah, this list is more valid because it comes from the players and the coaches, who I think you should only listen to when it comes regarding the game of football. That's where I get all my information from, directly from players, the most possible way. If they do an interview, I try to listen to it and go, oh, okay, that's what they think about this, and that's how I formulate my opinions of players, not what I'm reading. Or if it comes from their mouth, then it's like, oh, okay, I can judge what happened there. Myles Garrett's probably a bit of a liar. That's all I really know about the guy is he made up a lie for some reason. I don't even know why he did that. He didn't need to do that. He could just. I know why he did it. Anyway, Tristan Wirfs goes up 48 spots all the way to 41 this year. Congrats on the massive jump for the massive kid. Hopefully he does a good job protecting Brady this year because he's all they got. 40 to 31 coming up. The 20 through 1, I think they do on a separate episode. Number 40, Justin Herbert jumps up 16 spots from 56, so he goes from 56 to 40. And there he is, Justin Herbert. A guy who hasn't really done anything in the NFL. Has a below 500 career record, but hey, it is what it is. By the way, Tua's coming up soon, right? He wasn't in the 100 through 51. But that doesn't mean he's not on the list. Don't worry, Tua's coming. By the way, this is still Tua watch. We're still looking for Tua on the list, especially since he's going to have a year 3-esque Josh Allen breakout this season. They're not going to forget about him. Chris Jones falls 5 spots from 34 to 39 this year. Defensive end from, defensive tackle. Yeah, I haven't seen Tua yet. I know, it's crazy. Joe Mixon, holy shit. Last year he wasn't ranked, and he jumps in at number 38 this year. What a leap up by Joe Mixon. Congratulations. That's an insane jump up. Hell yeah, let's go. I like Joe Mixon. DeAndre Hopkins, oof. He was like number, 8 last year? Yeah, damn. For the past 2 years, what's up, Tom? So DeAndre Hopkins, following his PED situation, he's been number 8 the last 2 seasons. And, Dalvin? I don't know, probably. Uh, yeah, yeah, no, I think Chubb's better, but Jonathan Taylor's better than both of them. And then Damien Harris is clear as both. All right. Yeah, that's quite the drop. That's a drop of a lot. He goes from number 8 to 37. Whew. Almost a 30-point drop off for Hopkins. That's mainly because of the steroids. Lamar Jackson had quite the precipitous drop as well. Look at this. Lamar goes from 24 last year all the way down to 36 this season. Seems like Lamar is in a bit of a prove-it year to his comrades in the league. Wonder if it's, I don't know. It's just like, how could you say he's worse? They took away, he doesn't got anyone to throw the ball to. Who's he? Was he? It's like when Giselle said he can't throw and catch the fucking ball. That's probably one of my favorite pieces of Patriots lore. Is that Giselle yelled at Patriots fans about being hard on Tommy because he can't throw and catch the fucking ball. And that's just one of my favorite things is when we had that bad year. Because I think it was like in between Super Bowl wins, too. I don't even know what Patriots fans were fucking crying about. But, like, Giselle had to come out and yell at Patriots fans because we were all giving Tom a hard time. And he's like, he can't. And then I think every Patriots fan went, yeah, fair point. We didn't think about that one very good. I guess it's not really Tom's fault. And that's what started the fans versus the receivers drama in New England, by the way. We all turned on everybody except Edelman in that terrible receiving room. Slater is the only one who gets a pass because he's on special teams. The rest of these fucking dudes can't catch. Making Tom look bad. Anyway, Keenan Allen comes in at 35. Jumps up 20 spots. That's quite the jump up for the talented receiver. Hopefully he continues to play better with the resurgence, with the rise of young Justin Herbert. He's one of the more underrated receivers. Him and Mike Williams. I feel like nobody respects those two guys. And because whenever I bring them up that the Chargers are loaded at receiver, everyone's like, dude, they only have Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. And I'm like, dude, I'd fucking kill if my team had Keenan Allen. I would do anything for the Patriots to have those two guys as our receivers. Oh, man, that'd be so awesome. But everyone else is like, why? It's like, 'cause, I don't know, Keenan Allen to me is like a top 10 receiver in the league. If not, he's very close to in that list. Despite, just now getting a good quarterback. I don't know. No, I fucked your mom and made you. You know that. Yeah, it's the same thing. Give him a good quarterback and you see Mike Evans. Kevin Baird comes in last year non-ranked. This year he comes in at 34. Yeah, Keenan Allen runs way better routes. He's like a route technician. He's a lot like Devontae Parker, but like a larger guy and stays healthier. Fergie, I don't know why you're so upset. Is it something I said about your shitty football team? I didn't even say one bad thing about you, and you just seem to be a mean person. Did one of them parasites that can puff out and when you piss in a river or something, where you bathe and like clean your dishes in the river behind your house or your shack? Sorry, I don't mean to insult you. Um, But like the one of them parasites that swim up your piss hole, go up in there and spike out, and you're just in a bad mood or something. Is that what's going on with you? You seem angry. Are you okay? We're not talking about that anymore. You missed your chance to talk about that when you shut your mouth. When I was continuously asking you about why you guys only won the division by a game and why you only scored 3 more touchdowns than us all season, despite you claiming to be way better than us, and you didn't say anything, you lost your opportunity to have this conversation with me right now. Maybe a different stream for you. We can have this conversation. But I asked you for about like 10 straight minutes about this, and you said nothing. You can ask everybody in this chat right now. I literally kept going, dude, what, hello? I literally asked you like 20 times to answer that question, and you said nothing. So you forfeited your opportunity to continue that conversation. We're talking about the top 100 list right now. We've moved on from that. So, I mean, yeah, he's got the PP parasites. The ones that swim up your pee hole and spike out so you can't remove them. Yeah, that's about bitch, dude. He's got that going on. Do you know I learned about those when I was in like fucking, I don't even know how, like in like 2nd or 3rd grade? And fucking, I've never gone into a lake again. Isn't that fucking wildly disgusting? I don't go into open bodies of water unless it's a private pool because of shit like river monsters and shit, man. Fuck that. I ain't gonna risk it. Anyway, Nick Chubb dropped 7 spots last year, going from 26 all the way down to 33. Not that far of a drop. Not that far of a drop for a running back. He's holding on to relevancy pretty well. Hey, Mark Andrews finally getting some respect. He jumps into number 32 out of their not being ranked last season. You're just talking about nothing. You're still just trying to talk about the Patriots and the Bills. At this point, you're just spamming, so I'm going to get rid of you for a little while and put you in timeout so you can calm down, okay? Come back in a better mood. I don't want to deal with you being all pissy and PMS-like. I didn't sign up to deal with some chick on her period, so get out of here, little bro. You got to calm down. The fact, your inner feminine is coming out. All those, you're just acting like a lady, dude. I don't know what to tell you. You're not acting like Fergie, you're acting like Fergie right now, which is that chick from the Black Eyed Peas. Yeah, I don't fuck with water like that, dude. I think it's I envy people who don't have phobia of dirty open bodies of water. Like I'm like, damn, I wish I could still go in a lake. That looks like a lot of fun to swing on a fucking big rope and jump into the lake. But then I'm like, yeah, but what happens if there's a bass that bites you or a fucking pike that eats you? And I'm like, yeah, that's probably not very pleasant. I don't want to get my finger bit off by a pike and then have that nasty infected-ass lake water get into my cut and then I fucking die of gangrene at the hospital or sepsis. Yeah, I don't want to do with that. I'm good. 100% good. You guys have fun. I don't even go in the sand because that's probably full of heroin needles and AIDS needles. Yeah, you didn't even know you had those phobias till just about this second. And that's all I think about. I'm just going, I ain't going on that shit. That looks like a trap. Ain't gonna get me fucking caught out looking like an idiot. Dalvin Cook drops 11 spots all the way down to 31. That means last season he was ranked 20. This year he comes in at 31. A little bit of a drop. Most running backs will probably drop in lists like this. Unless it's like, even Derrick Henry will probably drop from where he was last year. Because of the injury, and it's just, running backs kind of lose their flavor after really quickly. They're the running backs are like zebra's gum. You know that zebra stripe gum that like is really, really, really good for about 3 seconds? So like the number one hack you can do with zebra gum to get it good for about 20 seconds is to take all the pieces out of the fucking thing. All like 24 pieces. Combine them into one big ass piece of gum and then eat it that way. That is a very tasty fucking ball of that turns into a quick I don't even know what flavor this is. This is awful. And then you gotta spit it out because you don't want to swallow that. It's probably poison. You'll never poop that out. Oh, wow. Joey Bosa went up 2 spots from last year. He was 32 last year. Goes up to 30 this year. So he's number 30 is Joey Bosa. Next up on the list is Bobby Wagner, who drops 4 spots, probably due to age, and he kind of just wasn't. It just did. He is 32, so that's probably one of the big reasons why. He was 25 last year. Now he's 29. Not that far of a drop for an older player. Here comes Wreck-It Ralph, Quentin Nelson, big ass dude, hilarious sized gut, and last year he was ranked 33. This year he comes in at 28. One of the better guards in all of the NFL, I would say. Tooney, and nah, it's probably just him and Tooney, right? Those are probably the two best guards in the NFL. If Frank Ragnow played guard, he'd be up there, but he doesn't play guard, so I guess. Yeah, it's probably him and maybe there's a Browns player I'm forgetting, but again, Quentin Nelson's arguably the best guard in the NFL. Number 27 is Matthew Stafford. Congrats to Matthew Stafford, won his first career Super Bowl, and he comes in at 27 this year. And no surprise here, but what is surprising is the huge drop-off from last year. What happened to Diggs? Sheesh. He came in at number 11 last year. This year he comes in at 26, down 15 spots. Hopefully the drop keeps coming. And here he is, everybody's favorite racist little brother. Nick Bosa comes in at number 25. And, yeah, I was surprised he's where he was. I'm surprised he's this low, but again, I think he's got a bad reputation. So, I mean, or just a weird reputation, I guess. But anyway, this is a very talented guy. We'll see how far he gets before, something derails his career. Wow, what a run-up for Jamar Chase. The rookie last year, so of course he wasn't ranked, and now he gets AP Rookie of the Year. He had 1,455 yards, a bunch of touchdowns, smashed all kinds of receiver rookie records. Just a great year by Jamar Chase, and he jumps into number 24. The only difference I can think of last year, Aaron Rodgers, Sean Campbell. Yeah, that's true. Who's at 23? Oh, boy. Trayvon Diggs. I think this is a mistake putting this guy this high up on this list. Especially based on this preseason so far. Good God. This dude was getting burned by 6th-round fucking undrafted free agents and shit. That was one of my favorite parts of camp so far. Number 22, who jumps up 28 spots from 50 last year. Too soon for Diggs? Yeah, I think so. 22 for Garrett Kittle or George Kittle this year. He is 50 last year. Quite a jump up for the kid. And last year he was unranked. This year he's ranked. It's Joey motherfucking Burrow. Probably not as good as Stafford, but well earned for young Burrow. Yeah, I'd swap the Diggses. Yeah, I'd agree. I think Trayvon's way too high. Myles Garrett on facing Picker. There's no rivalry there. I was gonna say maybe for the Browns there's some rivalry. I don't know. Can't wait to back my high school game next Monday. This time actually 1 week. My school has 10 championship Wildcats. Oh. That stinks you can't play. Well, good for your high school at least. What else should we talk about tonight? Is there anything else anyone wants to get on their mind as an immediate need to talk about topic? Like, is there something that's pressing anybody? And they're like, we need to talk about this. Has something to say type deal. If so, we can talk about it. If not, probably getting close to starting to wrap up. I'm going to be honest. This is a fun-ass stream, though. I really enjoyed it. Even thank you to Fergie, who's getting weird toward the end. I don't know why he was so upset. Nothing wrong with a good... That went an hour and a half. That flew by for me. I don't know about for anybody else. I was going to stop buying cards, but there is this Optic Panini set with some crazy cards, and they're called Downtown. Oh, man. Yeah, I can't do much with anything. I'm still... It's either this week or next week. I'm not broke anymore, which will be nice. Tomorrow I might not be broke anymore, which would be cool. But I don't think I'm going to buy any cards unless I can get my hands on like a really good set. Kind of like you just really like the look of the possible cards. Like if it was easier to get Panini Prisms, I'd just get those. Those are awesome. Like I really like the Prism prints, but they're fucking them cards are impossible to get your hands on. Yeesh. So you guys excited for the end of the preseason? I know the fuck I am. This shit's almost over finally. I'm getting back up into mid-season form on yelling at people. Like, by the way, this is gonna be a whole different season of me yelling at people. I'm gonna be way less insulting, but also way meaner about things. It's gonna be a very interesting combo of the way I debate with people. I'm ready for people like Fergie all year. Dolphins, Eagles. Oh, this weekend? Yeah. I mean, it's going to be backups versus backups, unfortunately. We were kind of talking about this before the stream was like really getting going. It's like we'll probably know after this weekend, but we're about to see what the future of the preseason kind of looks like and what it's going to mean. Like, because so far it seems like it's just backups versus backups. Which team has better depth, especially after this week? We've barely seen starters play this week. And it's starting to make me wonder, like, what is the preseason actually going to be anything? You know what I mean? Like, no, I understand why I know why you're getting ready to sow chaos, but like, what? Like, I just wonder, like, what? I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, what in like 2 years, what are we going to be able to use the preseason for? Like, other than just being like, wow, this team's got really good depth. This team doesn't. Like, yeah, that's helpful, like somewhat, but it's also like, well, what can we? What's to take away from there? I don't know. I don't think I'm making my point very clearly. Oh, the preseason? Yeah, it's way harder to watch games where you're not a fan of. Even when you're a fan of a team, there's like a just a droll period in each of the preseason games, especially because the starters are out. It's like ugh. But I don't know. It's just seems like joint practices make it so your starters don't have to play, and then you just kind of have to hopefully avoid any kind of like injuries and I don't know. I don't think we'll learn anything about teams till the first 2 3 games of the regular season now. Because if your team goes 0-3 and then like wins the next like 7 8 games in a row, then you're 8-3 all of it. You know what I mean? It just seems like so many more teams are unless you have a team with position battles across the board. It seems like most teams just decide to go, nah, fuck it. Even the Patriots have that attitude of, meh, fuck that. We're not going to play our starters. Of all teams, you would think the Patriots would be the ones to buck that kind of trend or tradition. Mac Jones has played 2 series this entire fucking fall camp. Brady used to play whole first halves of games and shit. You know, that's why I'm confused about the way. Like, I was stunned that we didn't play him at all. I'm like, not even a little bit. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think the player. Again, I think the only utility of it is good for like backup guys and stuff and guys who may not make the like. But again, I don't. If the regular players don't ever want to play in it again, I wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't. Unless I wanted to just like work. Unless you're a kicker or something. This fucking shit. Like they need to keep it for kicking and like certain other things, and like helping. Oh shit, helping guys like make the roster who may not otherwise be able to make the team. Um, There just seems to be a number of like good utilitarian reasons to at least play one or two, at least two, maybe 3 preseason games. But outside of that, I don't know. It just seems kind of silly, right? It's the depth issue. I think most like good football people understand like the biggest like plus of the preseason at this point is like you just get to see what kind of depth your team's dealing with, and that's really important because you know. You, Hmm. What the heck is this about? I also like that our preseason games almost seem to ramp up in competition level. Yeah, yeah. I think the first game kind of seemed second team and then the third. Oh, I missed Hard Knocks. I'll have to just rewatch it a little bit later. Damn, I felt like I was missing something. I was like, where are all the Lions fans? And I'm like, oh no. But I don't know. Yeah, I agree with that statement. Sorry, I got like I was just reading something and I got super distracted. I apologize. That was fucking stupid. Can you do a Hard Knocks review, right? What happened on Hard Knocks? Damn, I'm kind of bummed out I missed it. That means I got to get the hell off of Twitter, right? That means I have to stay off Twitter. Tigers lost 3-1. Motherfucking bitches. Anyway, all right, now I'm done reading. Sure, it's not original, but content. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wish. I don't know. I wish I was more like willing to do stuff like that, where it's just like, yeah, I'll like give my opinion on Hard Knocks. It was pretty cool. Like that's all I could give my opinion. Yeah, it was a good episode. It's like, what'd you think about this scene? Uh, Pretty gay. Next question. What about this scene? Pretty gay. So every scene was pretty gay, but the show was pretty good. Yeah, overall, pretty good show. And then I'd end the video and everyone would be like, that was a very confusing review. He just said scene one. He didn't even describe the scenes. He's like, there was about 130 scenes. Scene 131, pretty fucking gay. Scene 132 is good. That was just good scene. Overall, good scene. Not gay. Yeah, and it's just like I don't mention what's going on. I just go, and scene 194 was really, really solid. Page 14 of the script was excellent. It's like, fuck this guy. No, the only I'd like to do like reviews and like give my thoughts on things, but I don't want to like edit. So, so if I was to ever start doing content like that, it'd basically just be like this with my little square slightly bigger, and I just do a face cam with the whole thing. And I'd have a script up in front of me so I could read off of it. With like in this background, there'd be like the thing I was talking about, and it'd all be one big ass long take. But I wonder if that would impress people if I like did like a bunch of poem reviews or something, and like just gave my thoughts on certain things, certain pieces of lit, and it was just like a straight like 30-minute take with no like jump cuts or anything, and you just see me sitting there for like this for 30 minutes. Like, damn, what an impressive ability to record just straight through. Does he even have a script? Because I ain't going to write a whole paper just to do a fucking video. That's stupid. I always hated them people. They're like, I'm doing a video essay. It's like, if you wrote out a fucking hour's worth of a paper, do you know how many pages of a paper that idiot just wrote for their YouTube? I appreciate, it's kudos to the hard work. That's like 30 fucking pages worth of material. That's crazy. Of like single, like hopefully it's double spaced. So it's really like only like 15 pages, but you know, you put in the extra work, you get the double. All right, though. I think I'm out of shit to talk about if you can't tell. I mainly just wanted to kind of bullshit about week 2 of the preseason, argue about a few things, and then go over the top 100 list a little bit. Tomorrow is a bigger stream. If you haven't noticed, I like avoided every news topic. And I don't know how I'm doing this with the amount of injuries and players being cut and rosters being shaped that is happening right now. And that's like all I want to talk about is like all the shit happening in the NFL, which is quite a bit. But I've been able to we've been able to avoid that, which is very cool. By the way, thank you everyone to all the likes. I appreciate that very much. Very kind. Yeah, I'd probably just have a slideshow up, in all honesty, and just put a bullet point. Just do a slideshow and just have myself like recording in front of it. It'd be really easy. It'd be just like my picks videos, but just like with my camera in it instead. PowerPoint to me is the greatest feature of the entire Microsoft Office. I'm like, oh, PowerPoint's the greatest. You can give all kinds of crazy presentations with PowerPoint. By the way, if you haven't left a like on the new video that we have out, make sure you do so. Struggling along with 12 likes and only 3 comments. That's all right, but you know, it'd be cooler if we had more likes on it and stuff like that. If you haven't left a like on it, consider doing so. Picks videos are important on the channel here. Yeah, the PowerPoint rules, dude. I use it for everything. Almost every video I've probably ever made on this channel has been made with PowerPoint. If I like have to like present material in it. Otherwise, I think it's not very good. If you haven't seen the video, there it is. That's one of the greatest picks videos ever. Even if you don't watch it, can you just pop in there and leave a like on it if you haven't? I'd appreciate it. I would assume most of you guys are, well, probably no one here has liked it. It's barely got, well, actually, it's got 12 likes. You guys seem like the type that would have already liked it, but if you haven't, just consider doing so. It'll help me out. That's all. Just needs a little interaction on it. The views are pouring in. It's hitting another spree hitting in. So it went up like 40 views in the last like 10 minutes. So it's doing pretty solid overall. But the likes would be great. Thank you. I appreciate that, and thank you all for all the support again. We are very awesome. This is a fun ass stream. I enjoyed it. I always enjoy arguing with people. I just don't really like it when they start getting all mean and just start getting mad and just start throwing insults. It hurts my feelings too, you know. I got feelings, you know. All right, though. And spammy. What? Oh yeah, you can be. I don't know. Spammers suck. I just wish. Oh yeah. It just starts like, yeah. Well, I can tell what that guy was about to start doing. He's about to start spamming the shit out of it if I wouldn't have timed him out. Because he wasn't getting me upset. So he's like, I'm gonna have to pull out all the tricks and all the stops tonight. LeBron Ray. He's been able to get into a number of different roles. So it sounds like, Mike, just a quick thing before we start wrapping this up this evening. You know how we drafted that great big bastard named LeBron Lay? I'm wondering about him. him and Christian Barmore are going to be a devastating duo in the middle of that defense. Like, that is like 600 pounds of dude between the two of those two. And it sounds like Bill isn't cutting this guy. It sounds like he's making the fucking team. Like, it sounds like the way Bill was describing him, it sounds like, nah, that guy made the team. Now it's just a matter of where the hell are we going to use him alongside Barmore, which will be awesome. All right, though. I think that's it for me, guys. It's been an hour 45. Yeah, that's one of the guys you want to look for. And McGrone. But McGrone's played excellent in these last two games, so I don't really want to hear it from Patriots fans about him. All right. I think that's it, everybody. Great stream. We'll be live again tomorrow with more like an NFL, just kind of hang out and talk stream. But it'll be kind of like more news focused, where this is more just kind of just get out whatever we've seen from the weekend slate of games and just kind of talk about shit and just kind of avoid the news and technical aspects. Kind of more of a fun stream. I hope so. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. One of the things I'm not worried about is like defensive players with a lot of raw potential and Bill Belichick getting it out of them. Yeah, he'll fix up like the small technical shit. Ray and Sam Roberts. Yeah, both those guys look really good. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, night, morning, whenever you're listening to this, and whenever you do listen to this. Fun stream. Good talk, good conversation. I always like these kind of streams. We'll be live again for probably the rest of the week. Again, we have Wednesday, then we got Thursday night football, Friday football, Saturday football, Sunday football, and then no football for a week, then the regular season on the following day. And it's a confusing schedule. That's it, though. Yeah, I'm out of here, though. I'm going to go play video games for a little bit. Anybody got any like real last second things, or are we all set? I'll give you like a minute to kind of formulate any questions. I'm putting in my headphones because I'm going to be listening to a live stream myself once I'm done streaming. Perfect, it's connected. All right. I'm pretty sure that's enough time. Buy American and don't pollute or litter and